What is happening, YouTube? It's your boy Austin here with Big Nine Gaming, and who am I with?
Casey French.
And what's up, Casey? What did you do today, man?
I ended up placing second at the Ada Locals, playing none other than Unchained.
You and your Unchained, man. It's good to see it come back. All right, let's see what we got.
All right, so off the main deck. Straightforward here. Starters: 3 of the red, 3 of the blue, 3 of the purple. So basically, you want to see these 6 in your opening hand. This guy is one that helps you grind. He allows you to grab any trap from the graveyard that you have used that's an Unchained card, set it to your field, and destroy a card you control. This one pops a card you control, and it locks you into fiends for the rest of the turn. This card has so many weird interactions, and it's very simple. So it's pretty interesting. And then, of course, this one's your free special summon. Target a card you control, destroy it, special summon from the hand. So you want to see these guys in your hand as much as possible. So
I'm about it. Gotta love Tim Hortons with their ice cream blender.
Oh, yeah. So I cut down the bombs down to 2. In some instances, it becomes very bricky. The special summon effect is really nice, but having 3 I think is just a little too much, especially with this variant that I'm playing tonight. But it's really good just to help clear back row, clear just about anything, and if you really want to keep gaining advantage, you can pop your own monsters or cards to keep going and just OTK, so 2 of bomb is really good. And then, of course, you hate to play it, but you gotta play it, 1 dog. I drew this card in the final match, both games, and it really sucked because I really couldn't do a whole lot with it other than just discard. This card a lot better when you special from the deck, just that way you can use it to use it for a link summon of your own monsters and their monsters as material. So it's about all it's really good for. So for the going second cards, because this is a going second variant of the deck, 3 alpha, 3 gamma seal. So you open 1 of each of these, you're breaking your opponent's board no matter what they've got, for the most part. So you can just literally gamma seal their opponent, alpha bounce the gamma seal, and then gamma seal them again. And if you're able to make alpha again, you can special summon alpha again, because this summon of alpha is not once per turn. Why did they make that not once per turn? I have no idea. To me, this card is secretly broken, and it's highly underrated for what it is.
So you just get the Gamma Seal 2 cards and still keep the alpha. That's dumb.
Yeah, so it's just insanely broken. So I just wanted to run that package just to help break boards, because this deck has a hard time with Dragoon, and this helps break it. So, and then, of course, rounding out the going second monsters, 1 Pank. I mean, it's Pank. Really not much to say much about it. So
good.
And then off to the hand traps. We did play 3 copies of Ash. Very generic. I mean, you gotta play it. You just have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And then, of course, I played 3 Nibiru. Now, this is that funny interaction I was talking about earlier with the blue guy. So I did resolve this once. You have the blue guy on field. Your opponent summons more than 5 times. You activate Nib. If they have no response, you chain the Rakea. Rakea will destroy anything on field. You can even destroy itself. You won't get any pluses off of it, but what will happen is it'll resolve as much as possible by destroying itself and literally wiping the whole field, and you keep the Nibiru in your hand. It doesn't summon anything because you're locked into fiends for the rest of the turn. So
that's dumb.
Yeah, so a lot of the players that see this, they think they're getting the token and they can just keep extending, and I tell them, no dude, you're not getting it. And I get to keep it for the next turn, so go ahead and combo again. So yeah, it's pretty decent.
Double meteor is fun.
Yeah, so off to the spells. We play 3 of the Searcher. This grabs any Unchained card from deck to hand, so it's really decent. And it also has that effect if it's set and you destroy it, it specials 1 from the deck. It's pretty straightforward. It's your Rhoda for the deck. You gotta play it. And then you play 3 of the draw power, 3 Extrav. Extrav is just, it really helps you get to those cards. You can probably play Prosperity, but the biggest problem with Prosperity over this card for this deck in general is you get the +2 versus that you only get 1. And a lot of times you want to get that extra card just to keep going. So you want to really either OTK or grind with this deck. And if you grind with it, you're probably going to lose. So
I'm about it.
And then
Grinding is really where it's at, man.
Yeah. So there, of course, more going second cards, 3 Dark Ruler. This, like I said, this is just a generic out for like Winda, Dragoon, any problematic threat, especially versus Drytron. I opened this every single game I played Drytron, and they just cried. So, and I just completely broke their board. So
it's really good.
And rounding out the spells, 1 Raigeki. I played this just for the memes generically. No one ever seen this coming. I resolved this maybe twice, but when I did, I won the game instantly because they just didn't ever see it coming. They never thought I was even going to play it. They thought maybe it was going to be like Dark Ruler or something, but no, it's really good. I might just keep it in there just for...
Well, I like it as a 40th. I played it in a few decks too.
Yeah. And then off to the traps. Obviously, you just play 3 of the chamber specials from hand or graveyard, so it doesn't target, which is really nice because if they try to DD Crow you have another one in hand, you can just special it from the hand. So, and this also helps get dog out of your hand as well, so it's really good. And then you got to play the 3 copies of Escape just for, it's a pseudo break sword. Target card, an Unchained monster you control, and then a card they control and just destroys them. And they both have that set effect where if they're destroyed while set, special one from the deck. So
spot removal is always good.
Yeah. So that's good, solid 40.
Like
there really
40.
wouldn't be a whole lot I'd change. I might change the Nibiru's, maybe Raigeki every once in a while. I don't know. I think it's pretty solid for the most part. Off to the extra deck. So we play 3 of the blue guy, 3 of the red, and then 1 Abomination. So the blue one is mostly the one that you want to go into a lot. He's a quick effect, target a monster your opponent controls and link summon with it using himself and that monster's material to go into a dark link monster. So it's basically the card you want to end on if you have to keep grinding with your opponent. And then the red one does the same exact thing where it targets a monster your opponent controls, link summon using itself and that monster's material. And it's not a quick effect, which is unfortunate, but at the same time it still breaks boards going second. And of course, Abomination's just another.
Abomination's just a big boy.
Yeah, depending on the matchup, it's a very big problem for my opponents because it just keeps popping cards on the field, and it doesn't target. So it's really nice if they have that targeting protection of some sort. So it's pretty decent. And then of course, going off the generic links, we played 2 Nightmare Unicorn. This is really nice because it's a Dark Fiend, and if you get locked into Fiends for the rest of the turn, you can always just still go into Unicorn if you want, and then literally just send a monster or anything back to the deck, which is really nice. So it's good generic spot removal. And then I played 1 Bomber Dragon. This I might cut later down the road. It does come in and helps come in time right away. If you need to get over anything, it's decent. Other than that, that's all right.
It could be someone else and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. There's times where like I did summon this once, seen a monster that was way bigger than what I had, and I went into battle phase right before time was called, and I just attacked. I got 500 damage dealt to me, but it was like 3,500 dealt to them, so it was enough to just win the match. So.
Hey, there you go.
And then of course I played 3 Zeraboros. I'm probably going to cut this down to 2. To me, there's no really need to play the third one. I just play the third one for right now because affordability.
Extrav's also a card.
Extrav is also a card. It gives me that extra card. That way, if I need to go into it, I can. But this card's so underrated. A lot of decks have a problem outing something like this when it just completely just a spot removal and banishes everything, and then it comes back during every end phase and gets bigger. So it's insane. I think it's highly underrated. And then of course 1 Access Code. This is the one that I would replace Zeraboros for.
The
to run
Access.
2.
Yeah,
it's just right now Access is just way too much for me to just afford 2 of them right now. But this card, you have to play it in this deck. I'm telling you, this card is probably the best link in the deck, because if they let the big red guy resolve and you go into this with less than 5,300 attack or 5,300 life points left, you're killing him that turn. And even if you have another monster on field, you're going to kill him that turn. So it just helps the OTK factor just with so much more than without it. So, and then rounding off the 15th card, we got Ding. You run a lot of level 8s. You run Gamma Seal. You run Alphas. Abomination is a level 8. The dog is level 8. It's easier to just go into this guy a lot better. So
I can feel it. It's nice to have escapes when needed.
Yeah, especially like I said with Dragoon and stuff rolling around a lot, the deck has a really hard time outing Dragoon. So I just wanted to make sure I cross my P's and Q's with that. So off to the side deck, there's 3 copies of Danko Seka.
Good card.
This card is amazing. I probably will actually keep running this. It's just, there's a lot of times I don't need to use my normal summon. Danko is just outright a beast. I can, if I have red in hand and have this as a normal summon, and I play back row, they're probably not winning that match. Just saying. So it's just a house. And then I did play 3 copies of Skullmeister. I'm probably going to replace this with DD Crows. I just didn't have them at the time, so this was the next best thing. I think this hand trap's really underrated. A lot of people don't expect it. They expect either Ghost Bells or something. There's not a lot of Tri-Brigade running around, so this really helps out with the Drytron matchup. Helps out with anything Grave Reliant that activates Engrave. So it's just pretty decent. And then here's cards that help me go first. So we play 3-Dimensional Barrier, or 2-Dimensional Barrier, 2 Heavy Storm Duster, 2 Torrential Tribute, 2 Infinite Impermanence, and 1 Trap Trick. So basically, if my opponent tells me, oh hey, you go first, this is what goes in. And I have everything that's in my main deck that he's easily sided out just for this to go in. And it really throws them off when you go from a going second Unchained deck profile to a going first, and they don't ever see it coming a lot of the times, and it really helps out the deck a lot going first. So.
That sounds ridiculous, man. I like it. So what were your matchups, man?
So my first round, I ended up playing Grenmanji OTK. Lost the first game, won game 2 and 3. Second round was against Drytron. Beat me the first game, won the second game, third game. Then I played Paleo Frogs the third round. I 2-1 that one. And then I played Striker in the final match and got 2 in there. So shout out to my boy Tyler. He had it. He resolved and engaged 6 times on me. There's not a whole lot I can do about that.
That's ridiculous, man.
It's insane. So he ended up deserving that one. So
all
shout
right.
outs to him.
Nice. So you got any more shout outs, man, you want to throw out there?
Yeah, shout out to my boy Austin behind the camera. Shout out to my boy Jenner for getting me the cards that I need. And that's about it.
Heck yeah. Well, it was good seeing you again, Casey, and I feel like we'll be seeing a lot more of you on his channel. So you have a good night, guys. This has been Austin and Casey from Big Night Gaming, and we're out.